Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited that you found your way back here for today's video. We're going to be talking about the one thing you're likely missing in your marketing to be able to hit that 6 or 7 figure business mark that you know is like right over. It's like the carrot is dangled and you know it's there, but you're missing this one thing. And I'm so excited that you are here. Just real quick, a little housekeeping. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. We are going to be submitting videos every single week here on the channel. Please do not miss out on a video. Ring the bell for notifications, and hello, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. I love being on Instagram. I post stories every day over there. If you're loving being here on YouTube with me, you're definitely gonna love being on Instagram. So I'll see you over there. So my story started 8 years ago, and I was just like you, probably working a full-time job, having 2 kids, being busy. I wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur. No entrepreneurs in my family. Didn't know anything about online business. Didn't go to school for this. I was actually a clinical dietitian working at a hospital 7:30 to 4 and just in a windowless office, which is why I have 2 in my office now. So the things that I share with you in my YouTube videos are definitely going to help you get to your first 10K months as a coach, or maybe you're looking to go to 50 or 100K months. You can do that with everything I'm going to be sharing here on this channel, which is why you should be subscribed. So you're also going to find out if you're brand new, I am a note taker and I am a talker, honey. So I have to have my notes for my videos, and we will stay on task, and these videos will be short and sweet because of it. So you're missing this one thing in your marketing. Now you may find when I say this word, actually might be 2 words, but when I say this word or / words, you're gonna be like, is that it? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, girl, that's it. Okay, so storytelling. It's very interesting because this is something that's not talked about often. It's also overlooked, and I think it could be a huge part of building an attractive brand. I think it could be a huge part of, it is a huge part of being attractive to your ideal client. But also, I think it's a huge part in building know, like, and trust. All day long, I feel like I'm telling stories. So if I'm talking to a potential client in the DM, I'm telling that client a story. Like my client Cynthia this month, who has went from 0 to 40K in 6 weeks. She made her entire investment back in week 1 of working with me. And she is a mom of an 18-month-old daughter, previously on Broadway, had no real business experience before she launched her business a couple years ago. And she's kind of been stuck at a certain level of her business. And with my coaching, she went from 0 to 40K in 6 weeks. That's a story, right? People want to feel like they're part of a chapter. So if you can tell stories that relate to where they are, and they can see that, man, like, she got there, why can't I, right? Or maybe it's your own personal story that you need to get really good at packaging up. Here's where I was, here's what I did, here's where I am now. You know, 8 years ago, I was sitting in a windowless office as a clinical dietitian, barely making $68,000 a year. That's where I was. You may be there too. Felt like we couldn't take vacations. We're in debt, living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have college funds and 0 savings, right? So that's where we were. What did I do? I drew a line in the sand and said, I'm gonna freaking start a business. I was scared to do video too. I was scared to talk to people. I was scared to post on Instagram and Facebook and all these things, but I was more scared of not having my dream life. So what did I do about it? I started a business. I hired a business coach. I figured it out. I made my way. And a short time later, I was hitting 6 figures, and then that 6 figures turned into 7, and the rest is history. Now I'm a full-time business coach helping people just like you. That's just a little snippet of like what storytelling is like. And you know, storytelling goes back to the Bible. Like, the Bible is all a bunch of stories. And I think it's really important to know that this does play a huge role in how you make sales in your coaching business. If you can relate to your potential client through a story, doesn't have to be yours, it can be someone else's. I feel like we were born with this skill. You know, every day I pick up my daughter, she's 10. My son is almost 16. I pick them up, they both have stories every single day. So I feel like something happens between childhood and adulthood where people forget how to communicate. My biggest advice to you would be to get the skill of storytelling, read books about it, practice at it, get around people like me that are really freaking good at it. That's the only way you're gonna get good at it, okay? So a few things to think about is maybe number 1, every day you're putting out tips and giving value on your IG or your YouTube or your Facebook or your TikTok or whatever. And you're like, hey, I'm giving value every day and I'm giving tips, but no one's buying. That's because they can't see themselves in the shoes of the person that you work with, right? But if you tell a story, when you give the tip and when you give the value, now they're like stepping into that chapter. They're stepping into the shoes of that person that you're talking about. They can actually see, wow, she's telling the story, going back to Cynthia or myself, they start to relate like, wow, they sound just like me. And if they can do it, I can do it too, you know? So my number one thing would be to stop giving so much free tips and value without storytelling. I'm not telling you not to give free tips and give value. I do that every day. I'm doing this in this video. But don't forget that that has to be attached to a story of a transformation. Your ideal client needs to make a shift from where they are to where they want to go. And that is filling the gap. Storytelling fills the gap in where they are and where they want to go. Your coaching can get them where they want to go. Your service can get them where they want to go, but not if they can't visualize it. Okay. Number two, with the storytelling, it grabs attention and it motivates people to act. You can educate all day, but if they can't see themselves in the shoes of your people, your ideal client, the person that's going to give up their dollars, like they're not going to act. They're going to step back. They're going to continue to consume your education. They're going to continue to consume your IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube content, and they're going to do nothing. And that's why you're not getting paid or at least growing your revenue like you want to. So make sure that when you are doing this, you realize that your job is to grab attention and motivate to act. That's what we have to do as people in the service industry that do make sales. So examples would be tell the story of a current client. Tell the story of a former client. Tell your story. And when I'm doing this, I think about the person I'm talking to. Okay, so if you're on like a sales call or you're doing a DM sell, or you're just in the chat with somebody, however you talk to people, and you can like think of, okay, where is this person at? And what client do I have that he or she would resonate with? You tell that story, or you tell your personal story if you don't have clients yet. We all start from zero. You may be brand new, ready to launch your business. You may be like me, making 100+ K per month, or maybe you're like some of my other many clients making 20, 30K months. You have stories to tell, whether it's your own or a former client or a current client. Okay. Now, just a disclaimer, you can keep the privacy of your clients. You don't have to say like, oh, it's so-and-so and this is her last name and this is her page and she's making this much money or she's lost this much weight or whatever it may be. Just tell the freaking story. The story will motivate and move them. Okay. What else do I have written down here? Okay, so this is something to think about when you are telling a story. And I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Where they were, what happened, what did you do? So they joined my coaching program. First step, we did this. This is what happened for them. Here's where they are now, right? So kind of figure that out in your own way, but where they were, what problems they had, what you did together, or what you're doing together. It doesn't have to be someone that's completely done with your program. And then where they are now. I think another good story is like why people join your coaching. I think it's so important to share that because so many of your ideal clients are stuck in the thinking phase and they're not taking the action. You need to be highlighting the people that have taken action and have put forth the effort to spend the money, spend their dollars, and get started with you. Highlight those people too. Why did they get started? What are they most excited about? Why did they decide to overcome their own personal objections to join your program? That's a great story to tell. So you need to do that as well. Okay, so last thing is when you do this, people can see themselves having the same experience that you're talking about. They can kind of see themselves there, and it creates this shift between where they are and where they want to go. So if anything you take away from this video today, you start implementing basic storytelling. And I will tell you, I didn't get good at this for a long time. You may be watching this video and like, man, she's so good on video. I started with a sweaty upper lip talking to people and doing YouTube back in like 2014, 2015, doing Facebook Lives, sending DMs, sending voice clips. And I really don't think I got good at it for a couple years. So it's definitely something that, you know, confidence comes with reps. You can do this, but you got to get some practice going now. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll definitely see you in the next one. Stick around, subscribe, ring the bell, and follow me over on Instagram. Bye.
Yeah, baby, won't you stunt, stunt, stunt?